And we are live. We want to go, sucker. We want to go, sucker. And what is up? Man, I held that for a good minute. I probably could have held a little while longer. What is up? It's your boy, Ben Goose, and along here with my partner in crime, Sage the Mark. How you doing, man?
What up, Goose?
Hit me with the old school. We're doing a little retro for the day one fans. Hit me with the old Sage the Mark that you used to hit back in the day when we first started this podcast a year ago.
Oh man, you're talking about the what are we talking about here? The music? We talking about
just how you said it. Just how you said it.
Oh man, let me see. God, I don't even remember, bruh. I gotta go back to episode 2.
Used to say Sage the Mark. What up, Goose? How you doing?
What is up, Goose? Your boy is here in the building. I got something special for you guys. Man. Your boy been working really hard this week. Look at that. Your boy's got Nightbot in the chat. What's good?
Yo, that was great. Yeah, we got Nightbot. Yo, Stephen Thatch, what up? I'm glad you're logging in. We're doing the live show, a little bit early this week. We had to kick it back a day, mainly because we got a card on Friday for the greatest Royal Rumble. We're going to get into our predictions. We got some stuff to get into this week. Raw review, SmackDown review, just wrestling in general. Not much outside the ring, so I don't know if we'll cover too much outside the ring. But I do have a question for you.
What's good, man?
So, I got to ask you, as one minority to the next, outside of the ring, outside the WWE, we had Meek Mill. He got out of prison, got released.
Finally got a W.
We did. And I did some recon. I did some research because all I heard was, man, Meek Mill, free Meek Mill, free Meek Mill, free him. Robert Kraft, all these people want him freed. And I thought, all right. So on the core of it, all I knew before I even did some research on it was that Meek Mill did a crime 9 years ago, guns, drugs, and he violated probation a bunch of times and got locked back up. So in my mind, I was like, bro, if you violate probation, your ass goes back to jail. Newsflash, don't violate probation. It's as simple as that. You're on probation, follow the rules, and your probation is over. But it was a bunch of clerical stuff that kept him locked up, and it made me think, well, you know what? People shouldn't be in jail over clerical stuff. Do I want to talk about this on the podcast this week? No, because it's outside the ring. But there was the issue of a lot of people, would bring it up. I'll bring it up too. A black man in the criminal justice system. And I thought, all right, well, what's the reverse? And it's white people, opposite of black man, white man, just based on skin colors, black, white, your crayons, black, white. So let me ask you this. I was thinking about white people. Name a rapper right now that you would, this is white, black aside, Sage, name a rapper right now that you would go to a concert to. Maybe name two or three rappers you wouldn't mind seeing a concert.
I would like to go to that one rapper that goes ding 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 ding.
It has the tss.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not
completely different song. Completely different song.
I definitely would like to go see M, although I don't know if M counts. I think he's one of us. The black delegation claims M as one of his people. But Yeah, him and maybe Snow if he came out of retirement. Is he still alive?
It's funny. I was on my way home, and half our fans probably won't know who Snow is. So go on Spotify, iTunes, whoever, look up a song called Informer. It was playing on the way in today, and on my way home today, and I was like, man, this is some good stuff. A white Connecticut Jamaican rapper. Oh, this is.
I like your bum bum down.
Was he Connecticut or Toronto? I forget, but he was. No, he's from Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
So we'll say, I know you're a Tech Nine fan.
Tech Nine.
Tech Nine. So say you go see Tech Nine.
Yeah.
You're singing along.
Yeah. It's
fair to say, do you care about the race at all? I don't think anybody does. Do you care about the race of people at a Tech Nine concert?
Nah. Okay. I mean, I don't care about the race at a Slipknot concert.
Yeah, we go to any show. I've actually been looking up Rammstein tours. Unfortunately, they're not coming to the States anytime soon. But my point is, or the point I'm getting at is, if you go to a rap concert and you sing along to the songs, can white people say and sing along?
Why did you drag me into this, man?
Sage, I've been thinking about it all week.
Come on, bro. Oh my God.
It's okay. The reason I ask is because I was thinking like, all right, well, if we have black entertainment television, it's not fair to name white entertainment television because it'll be seen as racist, or they'll just name it MTV.
Yeah.
Right. Race aside, like, especially coming from me and you, the most mixed race of mixed race you could be, I was like, well, I went to a Kanye concert. I've been to 3. And when he sings Gold Digger, there's the key thing of, I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke
jigga.
Ninja. Yeah, however you want to word it. But when people were there, when I saw them, I didn't care that people were singing because I just saw they're not saying it out of spite. They're just having a great time. There was happiness in the air and there was peace. So it made me wonder, is that just me? Or I saw a video on CNN recently of like fraternity girls singing that same song, but they sang the whole song with the A ending N-bomb. And then they got criticized with it. And I was like, is that just a topic people should stay away from in general? Like, hey, it's not really that cool in the mainstream. Don't say it. So what do you think?
So I'm not a fan of the word at all. And I think we've had this conversation before on here. I'm not a fan of the word. I can't stand it. What's worse is I don't like the fact that it's being claimed as being a quote unquote black terminology when the root of the word was meant to be
derogatory.
Derogatory. There you go. Derogatory towards black people. I don't think that anyone should have a claim on the word. That just doesn't make any sense. Like, how do you have a claim on the word? Did you file a copyright intellectual property with the U.S. IP copyright world saying that only black people can use the word? No, you didn't. So how can you sit there, and on what grounds can you sit there and claim it for all of the black nation? I don't like it. Like, I don't think anyone should be using the word. I mean, there's other terminologies that we can use instead of that word, but I just don't like it. And I don't like the fact that you use it in a song to make money off of people who are both of black and white culture, but then you'll take offense if someone of white culture uses that word. Doesn't make any sense, but you profit off of them from allowing them to listen to the music. Like, we live in a hypersensitive world. There's a right time and a wrong time to use it, right? Like, there's not a right time to ever use the word, but like,
I see what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I don't think it would be appropriate to be saying that around a 10-year-old or 5-year-old. Like, I just don't at any time. Like, when people say it around there, and whether it's black person, whether it's a Hispanic person, whether it's an Asian person, I hear them say that around my kids. I get offended because I don't like them hearing that
particular language.
Yeah.
Now, I don't get offended in the sense of like saying, hey, that's our word, you should never use it, because that's not what I believe in. But it's kind of like dropping the S bomb or the F bomb. Like, I don't like people saying that around my kids, and I'll speak up and say, hey, watch the language. Whatever you do away from me is perfectly fine, as long as you're not doing it around my kids. I'm okay with that, man. But
Yeah. So I had to hit you with the hot topic.
I know, man, and I know I'm probably gonna get some hot water for that, but
no, it's a real question.
I think it's dumb, man. No one should be using the word. Let's use some different creative.
It's not worth
that everybody can use, as opposed to only one race can use it.
It's not worth the headache. It's fair to say it's just not worth the headache. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've said it a million times in my life, but it's just not worth the headache. But we digress. It's an old school night. A year ago, I think it was about a year ago, right? Was it when we started the podcast? I was in Ben Goosen Studios, aka my garage. Was it when first started?
Missed that, bro.
So I'm back in here on a throwback night. It is episode 70. I'm back here. I'm in my garage, and this isn't like a Ty Lopez garage where you see Lambos and all these fancy cars and chicks. Nah, this is just a regular dude's garage. Going through a little move right now. Got the garage all packed up. Well, half packed up. Your boy, so we're cleaning the house, having some work done, some DIY projects done, but the Wi-Fi is going to go good. The Wi-Fi works well, so I can catch the Greatest World Rumble. Speaking of catching wrestling this week in the Greatest World Rumble, I was a bad wrestling fan, Sage. I didn't watch Raw, and I watched maybe 15 minutes of SmackDown because, well, we'll get into that in a bit. You could ask me in a bit why I'm a bad wrestling fan this week. Tell me about Raw. I don't know anything about Raw. I've still got it DVR'd. I'll check it out. How much of Raw was worth watching? Because I thought, this would just be a go home show. This is a real pay-per-view we have coming up.
Yeah, it turned into it rather than anything else.
Quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. Raw wasn't. Look, Raw's in a unique situation right now. They are very much in the rebuilding stage, so a lot of what's going on between them, between storylines or lack thereof, it's not really going to be coming to fruition until after Backlash. So we've got 3 weeks before Raw starts to really push their talent and start creating storylines. So with that being said, you didn't really miss too much with Raw. The two biggest notables of the whole thing is, one, they're trying to do something with Axel and Bo Dallas. Yeah, they were pretty much the theme of the entire night, trying to like recreate a Miz Taraj, but needing a leader to join their group, and they were going to different people like Finn Balor and Seth Rollins to kind of help create the group, but it just didn't land. So that was one of the focal points. And then the other focal point, which I'm a little heated about, and maybe we can get into a little bit of a discussion about that. But we all know that that Friday, the Greatest Royal Rumble won't feature any of the women wrestlers at all in any of the events or capacity. So I think as a olive branch, they let the women close the show on Raw, and it was decent. I mean, it wasn't terrible. The match, the women that competed there, it was pretty decent. The thing that many of us took umbrage to is the production of the main event was horrible.
What do you mean?
Had way too many commercials.
Oof.
Like way too many commercials, like more than normal. And then one spot in particular I felt was very disrespectful. So they come back from commercial. Nia does the spot off of everybody's on the outside of the ring. It was a 10-woman tag match. Everyone was out on the side of the ring, and she does like basically a cannonball well, I don't think it was really a cannonball, but she basically leaped onto everybody else. And as soon as she did that spot, they did a picture-in-picture commercial advertising the Greatest Royal Rumble, the very event that the women cannot be involved in. Within 2 minutes of the commercial, them coming back from commercial, they cut a picture-in-picture commercial in their segment. Like, why? That makes no sense whatsoever. Why in the world would you do that? Like, you wouldn't do that for the guys, and why in the hell are you going to do it for the women?
Do you think they wouldn't do it for Roman Reigns?
I don't think they would do it for Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. I don't think that they would have done it for Titus Worldwide versus the Ascension. Like, they wouldn't have done a picture-in-picture commercial 2 minutes after.
Wait. Did you just mention that Titus Worldwide fought the Ascension on Raw this week?
No, I'm not saying that they did. Although both of them did make an appearance on Raw. I didn't watch it. Both of them did make an appearance on Raw. But it just goes to show you, like, they wouldn't do those during those segments, regardless of where they stacked up in the card of the night. They wouldn't have done those during those segments. But for whatever reason, they felt that it was acceptable for them to do it during the women's segment.
Yeah, that's a tough one, because they've got to market the Greatest Royal Rumble the best they can, because it's in an emerging market, and I'm sure they want subscribers in Saudi Arabia and just that area of the world. But then they want subscribers to log in on that Friday and watch it and get new subscribers and all that. So it's tough. I could see how it's a touchy subject. I could definitely see how it's a touchy subject on, advertising a no women's show in a women's match. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it was just disrespectful, man. But in the end, we got a starting feud of Ronda Rousey's first opponent.
Who's it going to be?
Brace yourself. It is the Cherokee one herself.
Mickie James.
That's
a smart move. That's a really smart move. She's a veteran. She could help carry the load. And that's great. Like, that's smart. Because, I mean, we want to eventually see the Ronda Rousey. And we want to eventually see the Ronda Rousey versus the Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, Asuka, all that good stuff. But that's a good move, because Mickie James can make her look good in the ring without... And if she loses, she loses. If she wins, she wins. Big deal. But she could help out a lot. Man, that's a good move. And it also confirms, which I think is cool, that WWE is setting this groundwork, that Ronda Rousey is a part of the women's division. And it's not like she's going to be like a China where she's kind of beating up men or doing a bunch of mixed tag matches. So I dig that. That's awesome.
But you think we're only going to get to see her fight during pay-per-views?
Well, we have to,
kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best we can get now. I mean, we have to remember she's still only been wrestling since maybe December, January, whereas Bayley and Sasha have been doing it. Actually, all the women's division have been doing it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So she's still learning. I think we should just appreciate the fact that she's had more, I think, if not, it's really close, and she will pass this mark. She's had more appearances on WWE TV than Brock Lesnar.
I was going to say the same thing, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say the same thing. I was like, man, she's already eclipsed Brock Lesnar's 2017 and his 2018 combined, man. What's the deal?
Mm-hmm. So I think it's showing, because I thought she'd just be a part-timer, but for her to show up on Raw, and she hasn't been wrestling long enough to be in matches every week on Raw.
Yeah.
But for her to just be showing up and doing these things, and she had a hell of a WrestleMania match, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like, it goes to show that this isn't like a yeah, I'll sign with you for 2 or 3 years, make 10 million and then bail. This is like a legit, yeah, I'm going to get good and I'm going to compete with these chicks. I'm just going to get paid a ton of money in the process. So I just thought that's awesome. That's awesome. What else happened? Was my boy Elias on Raw this week?
If he was, I didn't see him.
Hulu cut?
I got home late and I didn't bear to watch the Hulu cut because like Raw was
because it's the Hulu cut.
Yeah, Baron Corbin is going to be feuding with No Way Jose, so that's happening.
Is No Way Jose the next Adam Rose?
I hope not, man. I mean, I know that there's similarities, but I mean, I hope not. I mean, I'm not a big fan of No Way Jose. Never really have been, but the dude can wrestle. And he's a great heel. Although they only let him go heel in NXT like for 2 weeks. So I'm thinking that they're going to be saving that for something down the road. You got Ghost in there, bro? What's going on?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did that pick up?
Yeah, I heard it.
Probably won't pick up on the edited version. You heard that?
Goose is freaking out. For everybody that's listening on the podcast, Goose is freaking out.
We record this live over Hangouts. It's kind of like Skype. We got the cams running. We do this live on YouTube. Subscribe to us. It's Real Wrestling Podcast. You can check us out on the live unedited feed. And your boy Ben Goose might not survive this one.
Bray Wyatt's coming for you, bro.
Yeah. Yes. Oh. So,
yeah, buddy.
That's what I think. Well,
so yeah, man, that was pretty much it for Raw, man. Like I said, don't expect anything good from Raw until after Backlash. Backlash is in about 2 weeks. That's when they'll start vamping things up for their programs.
Well, they have a lot of talent. They have a lot of TNA. Excuse me. They have a lot of TNA talent. With Bobby Roode and Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, TNA/WWE talent. So I think that with the roster overhaul they went last week, getting 19 new people. There's a ton of storylines they can employ.
Yep.
But you're right. They are waiting till after this Friday and after Backlash. Backlash will be like the WrestleMania rematch card type gig.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of Baron Corbin, so it's funny that you mentioned that he's starting off with a feud. But speaking of big men like Baron Corbin, you know who I'm not a fan of at all? And I said this last week as we get into our SmackDown banter.
Oh, man. He had a good promo, bruh.
He did.
He had a pretty good promo, man.
There was one thing I didn't like about the promo. So he came out, 2 things. One's just me being a picky wrestling fan. I hate Big Cass with a passion. If ever our podcast got big enough and Big Cass was a guest on the show, I would say that I hate Big Cass to his face over Skype. But here's the thing. So I tuned into him this week. I thought, you know what? He's new on SmackDown. Give the dude a chance. Give him a chance. And his promo was pretty good. He kind of ditched the hard New York accent gimmick thing. And he came out, and one thing I really liked about his promo is that he called it like it is. He said, the reason I'm big and the reason I'm a main event guy, the reason I'm a big star, it's because I'm 7 foot. I'm a big dude, and I'm handsome. So do something about it. Yeah, and I loved it because he told it like it is. Vince McMahon, we all know, loves the big guys, the giants, the big dudes. But he called it like it is and was like, yeah, this is the reason I'm famous. So just deal with it. The only thing I didn't like was that he was a heel, and he was, clearly setting up his feud with Daniel Bryan. Anybody who says anything bad about Daniel Bryan's a heel. But then didn't he kind of get in the Miz's face for a quick second?
Yeah, he did. well, the Miz kind of got in his face first, and then he kind of retaliated, and it was a friendly heel gesture kind of thing. And then the Miz I think it was more for, I think the Miz sensed that he might be struggling, so he kind of just reeled him in.
Oh, good point.
And then he took over. The Miz is amazing, man. It's just the little things that he does that just brings out the best, man. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer, man. Definitely a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So I honestly think Miz, as great as he is overall, I think that I would really like to see a 5-star match out of him, because I don't think he has any in his resume yet.
Mm-hmm.
A couple 4-star matches. Has he had great matches? Absolutely. But it's because people hate him and they want to see him lose. But
so, let me ask you a question, man.
What up, Robert Hood in the chat? Yes,
yeah.
I don't know what the hell that was. If you were watching earlier, I don't know what the hell that was in the garage. It's not windy. The rain stopped like 5 hours ago here in San Antonio.
Let me ask you a question, man. I was hearing some rumblings from some other people that they are upset that Cass didn't address his relationship with Enzo on his day back. What are your thoughts about it? I think that you and I are on the same boat, but I want to hear it from you.
That is one topic you do not want to touch. Sage, if me and you ended this podcast and because of some bad legal stuff, and I said, you got in some legal trouble, and I said, hey, everybody, it's your boy Ben Goosen. The podcast is actually going to take a 1-month hiatus, and we'll be back in a month. You best believe after that 1 month, I'm not going to come out and be like, hey, what up? It's your boy Ben Goosen. It's your boy Ben Goosen, y'all. I am back and I am live. We've had a 1-month hiatus. Matter of fact, the show would not go anything like nothing like this. This is how the show would not go. Yeah, we're back, y'all. We back. The show's back. And welcome everybody to the show. I'm your boy Ben Goose, and I'm here alone because my friend likes to rape chicks. Let's get into SmackDown and Raw. That is exactly how the show would not go.
Yeah, man.
Of course he shouldn't mention it. Who would come back and be like, my name is Big Cass, Daniel Bryan, get out of my face. Because I don't.
That was the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard somebody complain about.
Why would somebody complain about that? Do they expect him to come out and say, I'm Big Cass, I'm 7 foot tall, I don't like Daniel Bryan because he gets in my way and I'm the man. By the way, I don't like rapists, possible, but maybe he's not a rapist. He was charged with it.
Boom.
Or he was accused of it, but he hasn't been. So I'm just going to wait till the whole trial or till all this legal stuff settles down. So that's why I attacked Daniel Bryan.
He reminds me of some guy I used to know.
Yeah. Nobody's going to touch that topic.
I agree, man.
Even if, and I'm going to not go into the Enzo stuff. We covered it on the previous shows. Even if he's super, super innocent, guilty, whatever he is, doesn't matter. You don't talk about that. No, you don't talk about that. That's a topic you definitely don't touch. You definitely don't touch. But I thought his promo was good. He could have bought a new suit. Because one thing about suits, when you put the arms up and the sleeves go up halfway up your forearms, it's not a good look. I wasn't feeling the suit. But I was okay with Cass coming back. I didn't watch anything else on SmackDown except for the main event. And the main event was really good, in my opinion.
Bruh, you missed the celebration, bruh.
Did I?
The milk.
Did I really?
Yeah, bruh. Look, man. We didn't really even talk about this last week, but Carmella's video package was amazing, bruh. That it just is. I like Carmella's new character. It's not even really a new character. It's more of a refined character. She plays like the spoiled brat that just doesn't go away, makes fun of you wherever she goes, and it fits her perfectly, man. And in the video package, which obviously you didn't hear, it has shades of Emelina. Like it seems like that song that they played for was supposed to be for Emelina, and but they put it on Carmella and it works fantastic, bro. She gets called out to the ring by to do the contract signing with Charlotte. Renee Young calls her out first. She takes umbrage to the fact that she's being called out, says, "In what world does the champion get called out before the challenger?"
Oh,
I like
love
that little, yeah, I love that little touch to that, man. I thought that was amazing. And then she said that, hey, you guys, last week was supposed to be a celebration. It's supposed to be a celebration, but you guys ruined it with disrespect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play my video package again. And this time you're gonna get it right. And I just love how she commanded the back to do it. She was like, roll my video package now. I was like, damn, Carmella, shit. So they play her package, right? And then as soon as her package ends, like everybody's booing the hell out. Like she's getting some serious heat, bruh. Like some serious heat. And then she's like, what are you guys doing? No, you will do it the way you will show me respect. Now play it again. And they played it again, bruh. And they got like halfway through it. And then Charlotte's music hits and then she comes down the ring, bro. But yo, that was hot, bruh. That was flipping hot, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good to see her. So I love the main event on SmackDown. I thought it was.
We ain't gonna talk about what happened about the Bludgeon Brothers, man. What's going on, man?
Oh, so I did see that. I thought I saw it, and I saw the backstage segment with Naomi and the Usos, and then I saw Naomi come out, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" I think I'm missing something here. This is stupid. Oh, she's distracting him. So I dug that. I actually liked that she distracted him and went so over the top distracting him.
Yeah, she did.
I'm curious to see where that goes because I hope the feud doesn't end because the Usos are obviously going to be on SmackDown for a while. I just want to see, where that goes. I think it's interesting to see where the Usos, the Bludgeon Brothers, and Naomi, because Naomi doesn't have anything going on right now in the women's division. I think it's interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where this goes. It feels like that there's going to be a payoff somewhere. I just don't know where exactly that payoff is going to be. But yeah, man, I'm interested, man. It was good to see Luke Harper like getting head sprung, man, after Naomi did her little thing at the beginning, bro.
Oh yeah. That was great, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's Tuesday. You know what that means.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting into the Bludgeon Brothers. Was the Authors of Pain on Raw?
I didn't see them.
I didn't think so.
But I think there's a reason why we didn't see them, and we'll talk about that when we get into predictions.
Well, as you mentioned too, we're still kind of in the WrestleMania hangover phase.
Yeah.
The main event on SmackDown, I thought it was good. I think it showcased who was there, and it put the Good Brothers in the face role, like the definitive that these guys are a face, along with AJ Styles. And I just loved that Nakamura. We talked about this specifically last week.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't want the Hakushi.
No Hakushi, bro. And we don't want a Hakushi-fied theme.
No. So I was watching Raw, and I remember, or excuse me, SmackDown, and I remember watching like, all right, this is main event time. Let me watch it. And I remember specifically waiting to watch the Nakamura entrance because I thought, all right, his entrance is part of his greatness, his face, him being a face. And then they cut to the person because there's like a I don't know what, like a 5-second intro before the song even hit. Oh my god, they switched the song up. This is great.
It kind of felt like it was a video package at first, man. I didn't know that when Nakamura came out that was really him coming out. I had thought that it was
neither.
Like a video.
Me neither at all.
So I thought that was, yeah, man. I'm digging it, man. 73% of the community that we polled said that they love it, man.
And it's a Japanese band.
Yeah, J-Rock, man. I love it, man. I'm so proud, man. Like, just taking a step back, man. Growing up watching wrestling, man, it killed me about how they treated Asian stars or how they dressed people up to be Asian stars like Yokozuna.
Yeah.
It killed me that there was just not a good representation for Japanese star growing up, in the late 80s and early 90s of professional wrestling. And fast forwarding it to like 25, 30 years later, and man, we've got great Japanese representation in all levels of professional wrestling. And I couldn't be more prouder of where we've come as fans and as
yes. Got to give ourselves a round of applause here. It doesn't matter what race you are these days at all. I mean, like you mentioned, in the 80s, if you were black, you had to play a black role. Even in the early 90s.
Yeah.
If you were Mexican, you had to play a Mexican role. If you were Asian, you had to play an Asian role. So we've come such a long way just as a country, but as wrestling and the business in general, because it doesn't matter what race you are anymore at all. It matters of what you can do for me in front of that camera.
Yeah.
And I love what they're doing with Nakamura right now.
Yeah. Shinsuke is just like killing it as a heel, man. I didn't think I could love Shinsuke more than I do now seeing him as a heel. Like I feel bad as a fan not being. I should have been watching him while he was in NJPW and IWGP, but I didn't. So I didn't know what to expect when he came to the roster, other than I want to make sure that they treat him not like Kenta.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I just love it, man. I am more invested in him as a heel than I ever was as a face, and it's only been 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. So I'm digging it as well. And I could see somebody saying, I'm getting tired of the low blows because it's each and every week. But I see it as more of a Shinsuke knows that you're tired of it, but he just doesn't care. And he's not pulling the traditional heel like, oh, you people never cared about me, anything like that. It's just a true. And, he still has the magic behind him. He's still the artist because he still has that mystique, like Prince or like Michael Jackson of WWE. He still has that mystique about him. But now it's that mystique, and you realize, like, this guy sucks. Like, this guy's just an asshole. The mystique is there, but now he's kind of a prick. It's kind of like, I almost liken him to, I hate to say Justin Bieber, but a lot of these people that become famous, and people love them when they become famous, but then they get caught on video, like shoving a camera out of their face or whatever. Then people stereotype them or typecast them or whatever, and they think, yeah, this kid's kind of a prick. So I like that about Nakamura is now he used to be all about, hey, need to face, I'm going to win the championship, all this stuff, Kinshasa stuff. And now, hey, can I get an interview? Can I get an interview? Can I get an interview? Oh, no, I don't speak English.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I've heard you speak English a million times. No, I don't speak English. And just being such a dick about it. Like he's himself, but just a dick, like a complete dickhead. And he's still super talented, and he still keeps up with the mystique and the cool ass outfits. His entrance theme is still badass. He still comes out and walks and talks the same to the ring. It's just like it's almost like somebody who became super famous super fast, but hates everything.
Yeah.
I love it. So I think the low blows are great. The ending of SmackDown was good, especially because it reinforced, I guess, kind of the club, if you will.
Yeah.
With Anderson taking the double Kinshasa. I just thought it was a really strong ending to SmackDown.
I love I love Anderson, man. Carl Anderson. Like he's such an underrated talent, man. Like I think that he's gonna shine so much on being on SmackDown, and I can't wait, man. It's gonna be good stuff for him.
Yes. Oh yeah. So let's get into our predictions for this week.
The greatest Royal Rumble
for this womenless pay-per-view that is going to last about 235 hours.
Yeah, so none of y'all complain about bathroom breaks and dumb cards and all that other stuff. I don't want to hear it, because now all your excuses are gone because you don't like to watch women wrestle on pay-per-views.
Yep, they gotta. The women will get theirs. They'll get some time. So let's start off on the card. Yeah, no, not at all. Let's start off on the card. I think we should start off hot, and a match that doesn't matter at all.
You were talking about the Universal title?
No, I'm not talking about the Universal title. But we could go into that. I'm gonna try to organize the matches in the Who Cares. I mean, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean I'm not going to watch them. I'm going to watch them, but who cares about the outcome? So let's start off with, can we agree that of all the matches on here, even and this is not this me asking this has nothing to do with how good the match could be, but John Cena versus Triple H, can we start off on that one? Because that match just, if you win, who cares? If you lose, who cares? It's just two veterans that you want to see.
Just two veterans. I mean, it's a special thing for Saudi Arabia to actually have a pay-per-view in their country. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to make any storylines going forward. So it's a really good throwaway pay-per-view. A very, very good one. Yeah. Yeah, it's just polish.
Yes.
Is all that is, man. It's just polish. I've got John Cena win this one, man. There's no reason Triple H should be winning.
Yeah, I'm going to take John Cena too, because it doesn't matter really at all. I actually don't picture it being a very long match either, but I too have John Cena winning. Should we go into in keeping the, you know what, we'll go into the steel cage match since you said that match doesn't matter that much.
Oh.
Lesnar and Reigns. So should we just pause the podcast right now, copy and paste the podcast from our WrestleMania review where we said, oh yeah, it's obvious Roman Reigns is going to win this one. Next topic.
Yes, but maybe with a little bit of an amendment to it. Roman's gonna win. We all know that he's gonna win. My question is, how is he going to win? Because we all can come to the conclusion that he cannot beat him straight up at all. He just can't. He can't beat him up straight up. So what I think is going to happen is I think AOP is either AOP, and call me crazy, either AOP or Joe is going to come out. They're going to put the beating on Brock Lesnar, and that's going to turn Roman heel finally, and him winning the title.
But hasn't the stage kind of been set? Or do you think they're just going to avoid it completely of Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns at some point?
So I think that that's a foil, man. I think that that's what they're trying to lead us to believe, that, hey, Joe is going to take the title at Backlash. But unless they're going to do a swap on titles, there is no way that they're going to even put the Universal title and the WWE title on SmackDown.
So are you saying if Samoa Joe, and this is fair to say, if Samoa Joe wins the IC title, then it's a guarantee that Jeff Hardy is going to keep the US championship because he's now SmackDown property.
Yes,
even though didn't Jinder say on Raw, I read this on Twitter, hey, if I win, didn't he tell Kurt Angle, like, hey, if I win, this show sucks, I'm leaving Raw and going back to SmackDown?
Yeah, he wants to come back to SmackDown, bro.
How great is that? Hey, welcome to Raw. Yeah, this show sucks. Can I go back?
Want to go back. Jinder does not want to be on Raw, but I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that he's going anywhere. They're not gonna mess up an opportunity to utilize 3MB in some capacity. Not as a stable, but just having them all
in
together.
General. Correct.
And just
we may even see him. We may even see the three of them this week in the 50-man Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
just like a quick nostalgia moment. I think there's going to be a lot of cool moments. I hope.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome, man. They need to have that. Wait, what was the name of your boy, man, who picked 3MB that one time during the Royal Rumble?
Richard?
Was it Richard?
Black Richard? Yeah, it was Black Richard.
Yeah, we need to get Black Richard on here, bro. We need to get an audio clip for him because this is his dream come true, man.
That's great. Yo, okay. So I would love to see AOP involved. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but I think we could both agree Roman Reigns is coming out this one, and maybe they'll have a rematch down the line, but he's coming out the champ.
Yeah, Robert in the chat says if he wins, and I believe that he's talking about
yeah, I was thinking the same thing as Robert. Is if Joe wins, if Samoa Joe wins, he's SmackDown property technically, but does he get to stay on Raw? But yet he's calling out Roman Reigns, so he's maybe going to fight for a title. So you're right. Maybe that is just fool's gold.
Yeah, I feel like they're playing it up too much for us to like that's something that we would really want to see, but do we really want to see it on Backlash? Like, to me, I think it would be intriguing and different if Joe helps Roman win the title. Then that may set up a match between Joe and Brock at Backlash. Maybe, I don't know.
But Brock wouldn't be a SmackDown. Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, because all the pay-per-views are together. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I feel like this isn't going to be. It's a cage match for a reason.
Yeah, there's going to be some gimmick stuff to it, and they hyped it up the best they could. Now, on to another match that I don't care about because I hate that this match is happening. It's The Undertaker versus Rusev. I mean, not Rusev, Chris Jericho. Oops. No, I mean, I'm sorry. They changed it back. Rusev. This is I hate this because I could be way wrong here. Let me know if I need to change my mind. Rusev Day is getting over big time. The past 2 weeks of SmackDown, they've forced, but Rusev has been a heel and done heel stuff, and Aiden English as well. Aiden English and Rusev are very, 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 very over. Why is Rusev is definitely going to lose this match, but are they burying him?
It sure as hell seems like it to me, man. It seems like it to me, and I don't understand it because he's got one of the hottest shirts out there. I think it's either number 1 or number 2 in sales. I mean, I don't know, man. The only thing that makes me think that they're not burying him is that they're allowing Aiden English to introduce him every single time. Like, I felt like if they were going to bury him, they wouldn't give Aiden any talking time on the mic to do the introductions. So that's the thing that kind of perplexes me. But at the same time, they won't give him a shot at any of the titles, man. Like, I don't get it. Like, how the hell does Randy Orton get 2 shots at the title and Rusev doesn't get any? He gets 1 shot, loses it out of a technicality, and doesn't get a rematch or get inserted into a card. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, what's this dude got to do, man?
I have no idea.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And you can argue that he doesn't need the title, but man, you could be putting him in the match in contention at least for 1 week for maybe the world title or the universal title or something. And you guys won't even do that. Like, why?
Yeah, we forget he had classic matches with Cena for a solid damn near year straight.
Yeah, I just came out with a tank at WrestleMania, and this is the way you guys treat him.
I mean, and Rusev Day is over big time. So hopefully, after the post WrestleMania hype dies down, he's still getting over because Rusev Day's he's kind of going through like a New Day phase where New Day was heel, but then they gradually became and stayed faces forever, and it's going great for those guys. But I really hope we're not seeing the burial of Rusev here. I really, really, really hope not. Now,
yeah, and Robert in the chat says it best, man. Rusev Day is over, just like or just as over as the Yes Movement is.
Yeah, it is great. Robert Hood, good stuff. Like it's very far over, and it's if you have to remember, people were chanting within the past WrestleMania up until today. People have been chanting Rusev Day when Rusev's not even around.
Yeah.
Rusev Day is legit. Like Rusev Day is
Day called out during the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns fight.
Yeah. During the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns main event of WrestleMania, a Rusev Day chant started. A Rusev Day chant started on the Raw After Mania. Now we can't give too much to that because it's the Raw After Mania. That crowd does it's a crowd-based show. But Rusev Day is over.
Yeah.
But I guess they're just wanting to make him a super heel. If you're gonna make Rusev a heel, drop the Rusev Day stuff altogether. Yeah. We're fans here, and the dude can go in the ring. Let's get into
softly, brother.
Let's get into a match here that you said you wanted to chime in on. The Bludgeon Brothers and the Usos. Do you think this match ends? We talked about Naomi earlier. Do the Usos have a chance at leaving?
Nah. Not an iota of a chance. I do think that Naomi's going to get some hands. Where those hands are, I don't know, but she's going to get some hands.
So do you think that if the Usos lose, they've pretty much beaten every other tag team around in general? Do you think that maybe we see an Usos split up in the next 30, 60, 90 days?
I think so, man. I think that's what they're hinting on doing. Like, I think we talked about this last year. You know, you wanted to see them going singles. I said it's not going to happen, but it looks like it's going to happen, Goose. It looks like you called it, man.
I could see it happening on this. I see it happening on the same show because it's not like, oh, they split up now. One's on Raw, one's on SmackDown. But if this is planting the seeds, like think about it. If me and you were a tag team, and I'm going to use some vulgarity here just to add to the point, and you had, whatever, Mandy Rose or whoever your valet, right? And she came in one day, maybe she interfered in a match. We lost it. Then the next week she came out, interfered in a match, trying to help us and lost it. If I said these exact words on TV, it's your valet lady, what, TV show wife or whatever. And I was like, hey man, Your wife's making us lose these matches. We were tag champs for over a year. And you're like, nah, 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 nah. She's just trying to help. And I said, yo, you need to check your bitch.
Ghost! You don't know what you're talking about, son.
Woo!
Kyrie Sane gonna come out there and beat the holy hell out of you. And then she gonna drop the elbow like it's 1997.
Could you imagine? Like just that one line right there. It's not that bad. It's kind of PG-13, but like, yo, you need to check your bitch.
Yeah. Man.
Could you imagine? Because it's got such a demeaning feminine connotation, but no man ever wants another man to say that to him about his wife in real life, but his TV show wife. And then they feud. Man, you'd have a great feud. Them two brothers. It could be a legit Gargano Ciampa type feud because you have the personal touch to it. But I think we could both agree the Bludgeon Brothers are unfortunately, it's good to see these guys back. They're gonna come out of it. Now, speaking of tag teams, Sheamus and Cesaro, SmackDown's finest, versus Bray Wyatt and Woken Matt Hardy. I very, very easily have broken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt winning this match.
Yep.
And it'll just keep those separate tag titles on Raw. Can we kind of agree to that one and move on?
Because they aren't just the bar, they are the bar.
Sure. So
yeah, I'm with you.
You want to go to the what should we go to next? Should we do the? Do you want to do
DB
the Intercontinental?
versus is the DB? No, is that Backlash match?
That's Backlash. DB's not fighting on
Okay.
this card. He's in
My
the
bad.
50-man battle royal. So Intercontinental match. Did we touch on the U.S. title match? Jeff Hardy and Jinder. I feel like we should do these back to back.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay, Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal. I think Jeff takes this pretty easily, and we talked about it before about the Hardys being officially split. I like Jeff on SmackDown. He has more room to shine, especially as a U.S. and mid card champion. So I actually have him winning and keeping the title for a bit, and maybe going on to feud with maybe heel turning Randy Orton, because we all just in general the wrestling community loves himself some heel Randy Orton.
This one's tough, man. I don't think the U.S. title is going to stay on SmackDown. I think that they're going to switch titles again. I think Jinder's going to win this one, and somehow Jeff lands back over at Raw. I just can't imagine him and his brother not touring together. Like that just seems kind of weird.
Well, but they're both their own independent stars.
Yeah, but their deals were together, though.
I mean, but they could both. These two guys are good enough to be together or separate, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I look at the rest of the roster in that spot, man. And unless you're going to put Jeff in contention for the heavyweight title, like I feel like I think he's the star power that they need on Raw, unfortunately.
Well, he's good on SmackDown. He could main event a SmackDown because he's super over. He always has been.
Yeah,
As a face.
I don't know, man. I just got this funny feeling, dude. I feel like Jinder's gonna win it, and then Miz is gonna win the Intercontinental belt, bring the belt back to SmackDown.
Good point.
And then that belt is going to be in contention between him and Daniel Bryan. Eventually, it's going to lead to Daniel Bryan recapturing the Intercontinental belt.
I agree. I'm completely on. Going into the next match, Miz, Rollins, Balor, and Joe. Yeah, I've got the Miz in this one too. I think he's gonna take it, and then once the Cass and Daniel Bryan thing ends, they'll eventually cross paths. So I'm with you on this one. The Miz is gonna win that one.
Joe's in that match too, right?
Yep.
No?
Yes,
Okay.
he is. It's a fatal four.
Yeah. So I think about it, man. Like it's coming to SmackDown. I think we can, regardless of who's gonna win it, it's coming to SmackDown. There's just no way that title's staying on Raw whatsoever.
No, I agree. Now
Yeah.
let's get into a match here that's might be for the true main event. Cedric Alexander and Kalisto.
Uh,
It'll be a decent match, but I got Cedric Alexander winning pretty easily.
yeah, that's not even a match I would want to see, man. I don't. It's. I would rather have another Mustafa Ali versus
Same here.
versus him, or if Noam Dar gets back, or even a Drew Gulak versus. But they got him tied up with Tony Nese, man. So it's kind of.
True.
I don't
So,
know, man. I don't know why they put Kalisto in that position, man. It just seems
eh.
dumb.
Well, it's to help get Cedric Alexander over. You got to do what you got to do for the business. Now, there's two fights left in the card. I think we'll go into a title fight here. Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. This one's tough for me to call because we saw Chapter 1 at WrestleMania, and I truly, truly, truly don't think if this is Chapter 2, I don't think their story's anywhere near over. I think this feud's going to last for a while. So I'm going to say AJ Styles wins by disqualification via low blow.
I agree. I think AJ, or not AJ, I think Shinsuke wants to beat AJ till there's nothing left of him. Like where he's just going completely either insane or has lost all hope. And then he takes the title away from him. I think that the best place to do that would be at SummerSlam, man. I know that's like 4 months away, but
no, but you get the long buildup. That's the same thing I was going. If we could tell this story, and the beginning of this story started at WrestleMania, or you could technically even say Royal Rumble when Shinsuke won it. If you could truly go up until SummerSlam, which would be in August, and say this was an 8-month storyline buildup, and several pay-per-views were used just to get Shinsuke to be over as a heel, I think that'd be great. I think the title doesn't change hands. I'd be surprised if it did. But no, I definitely, you and I are on the same boat here. Now, here's the tough one. 50-man battle royal.
yeah,
and the winner gets nothing more than a shout out next week on the IRWP.
That's right. The most prestigious award you could ever get.
Yeah, you get nothing. So I'm actually going to go with Daniel Bryan if I had to pick one person.
Damn, man. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick, man.
It doesn't have to be, though, because nothing's on the line. You could win. Anybody could win.
Yeah. I think it's either going to be Kenny Omega or El Idolo.
Idolo would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the latter of the two, El Idolo for the win.
Well, Kenny Omega, didn't he re-sign a contract with NJPW this past year up until January of next year?
Yeah, he did, but yeah, I mean, you never know, man. I don't think those contracts are built like contracts are.
Money talks. Money talks.
Yeah. So
money talks. Okay, so I'll go with Daniel Bryan. You're gonna go with El Italo.
That's right.
You think Andrade Cien would really make his debut at the Greatest Royal Rumble?
That would be amazing, man. I think that Sanity and El Idolo are not gonna make their appearances either until the Greatest Royal Rumble or at Backlash. I'm still upset that Sanity's not coming up without Nikki Cross, man. It just doesn't seem right. Unless they just make it maybe I'd be all right with it if they make it into a storyline where they're going up against some force that they can't tackle, and then she comes and becomes a difference maker. I don't know, but
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we've covered a lot today in this week's wrestling. This week's crazy wrestling world. One thing I wanted to ask you before we wrap up the show: you going to see Avengers this weekend? You think?
Um, Probably not. Just because it's going to be really, really packed, and I won't be able to see it next week because I'll be in Pittsburgh for the
Dude,
marathon.
you know how hard it's going to be to stay off of spoilers for a week?
I know, man. I know. Um, but yeah, it'll take a while, man. I will say though, I watched the Venom trailer
Oh,
and I was down for it, man. Um, I know that I know a lot of people aren't down for the costume, but Tom Hardy can make it work, man.
yeah, I'm hopeful. I saw the Venom trailer too, and I liked the story where it was going, especially what I loved. I didn't mind the look. I mean, the look's going to get judged no matter what. But now
Yeah,
that
it's always gonna be judged, man. It's never gonna.
oh, nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
But now that Disney slash Marvel, or I guess Disney, owns everything, everything Spider-Man and Marvel wise, man, I think that a Venom movie, even though they're kind of marketing it to be its own standalone thing, it's eventually going to cross over with Spider-Man, and even if it's just cameo based at some point, is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I hope that it is just a cameo appearance. I don't want to see a Spider-Man like a full-on crossover kind of thing. I definitely want to see a Carnage Venom for part 2. Um,
Did you
I
hear
think
who's playing Carnage?
I did not. Who's playing Carnage? Please don't tell me Toby Maguire, or not Toby Maguire, but the dude from the '70s show.
No, thank God. It's Woody Harrelson, who's kind of had a career resurgence in the past 10 years.
Isn't he in the first Venom movie? He's in the first Venom movie.
He is. So
Oh
pay
man.
pay very special attention to his name.
Oh, just take my money now. Just take it.
If his
Damn.
name is if the word Cassidy is in his name, then just was it Cletus Cassidy, that Carnage?
All right, yeah.
Just pay very special attention to what his name is or what his role is, because that's the rumor that I heard on my Senate. No, I'm just kidding. That's kind of what the fanboys are saying right now. Is since he's in it and he's a big name star, there's and a hell of a great actor. There's a good chance that he may be playing Carnage in the second or the third movie, which
So,
I think would be great.
are we thinking that this is going to be a rated PG-13 or rated R?
Off of the new trailer, I think it'll be PG-13. I think that now that Disney owns everything, rated R might be tough to go through. I'm surprised that
They
now
got
that
a
Disney
rated R for Daredevil and
Deadpool,
and Daredevil, Deadpool, and
Logan.
Logan, and Daredevil. Oh, and Punisher. So how can they not have like?
So Disney didn't own them when they were made. And remember, Disney is
Yeah,
also starting their own streaming platform, which is going to be awesome.
they better
Think
not
about it.
take it away from us, man. I'll be pissed.
There's going to be a platform where you could see every Marvel and Disney movie and Pirates of the Caribbean and old school Disney animated classics.
You're making another Pirates of the Caribbean, bruh.
Of course. Of course.
Orlando Bloom in it, bruh.
So let me ask you this, and then we'll wrap up today's show.
Yeah, man.
For the Avengers, if you know anything about it, don't spoil it.
Yeah.
I was having a debate with a coworker today. To me, the Avengers has to come out hot, and they have to kill a main character, or they have to kill a character, whether it's
They killing Cappy, bruh.
huh?
They killing Cappy.
No. I'm not. Hear me out. They have to kill somebody.
They gonna
in the
kill
first-
Cappy, bruh.
They have to kill somebody in the first 10 minutes.
Ooh,
20 minutes if you want to get technical. But
first
to
10?
me, they got to kill somebody in the first 10 to 15 minutes Thanos, correction, Thanos has to kill somebody in the first 10 to 15 minutes to show like, oh man, this is legit. I mean, and I'm talking about if he was going to kill anybody, it'd probably be a side character like Loki.
No,
Um,
they'll hit a main character, bruh. It won't be a Loki. It'll be realistically, it'll either be Thor, Captain America, or Iron Man.
if that happened, you're saying it would
Yeah.
be one of those three. Yeah,
It's
that's
gotta
my
be
thing.
one of those three, man.
I'm-
If you're
I'm-
gonna pull on the heartstrings, it's got to be the heartstrings of someone that the casuals just clamor to, and there's no bigger three than those. They are the Trinity.
and you have to kill them. There isn't like a, well, he killed him, but he can come back. I mean, you know, no, he's got to.
Yeah.
To me, I would love to see Thanos kill somebody in like the first. I'll give it. I'll be conservative here, and I'll say the first 20 minutes, just so you know, like, oh my god, oh man, this guy's business. I mean, either which way, the movie's going to be good no matter what, just because it's, has $100 and something million into the CGI on it and the big budget factor and the explosions. It's just going to be a fun, going to see Avengers it's an event. If you go see it in the next 4 days, it's an event.
Yeah, it is.
If you go see it opening weekend, because it's going to be sold out everywhere. You're probably going to see some cosplayers. You'll probably see some cosplayers.
There's gonna be a ton of Black Panthers, bro.
Oh no, I'm gonna wear an Iron Man suit.
Man, you should go as Killmonger. You already got the hair.
Who's Killmonger? I didn't see Black Panther.
Get out.
Get the fuck out.
Jigga.
No, I all right. I'm gonna dress up as Michael B. Jordan. Is that Killmonger? Please don't tell me it's Killmonger. Oh shit.
Killmonger.
All right. So you know what? That's okay. I meant to talk about that earlier, and we'll wrap up the show. That's the reason I didn't watch Raw or much of SmackDown this week, is because I want to see Avengers, but I'm not caught up on all the Marvel World stuff. So I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 on Monday.
That was great.
It was better than I thought. I didn't see the plot twist coming. I'm not going to spoil it for the listeners, but I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see the story. Yeah, spoilers are coming up. I didn't see Kurt Russell turning heel halfway through the movie and being like, flat out, he was just pretty much like, yo, man, I'm just trying to hook up with all these chicks because I got these planets I got to make. I got like 13 of these things. Yet they're not really connected. Maybe they are, but they're not perfect. And if I make 13, 15, 25 planets, that'll take over the universe. But just, I need some offspring here. So I just go around to every single place, hook up with chicks. Oh, I didn't see that coming. And then I watched the first 20 minutes. I didn't get a chance to finish it. I watched the first 20 minutes of Thor.
The Ragnarok?
Yeah, and
I still haven't seen that.
They went comedy. Have you seen the other Thor movies? I haven't.
Yeah, I've seen the first two.
So they're very serious movies, right?
Yeah.
This one straight up went 115 million trillion% comedy. It's a comedy.
Yet the reviews were pretty solid for this one.
It's good. So did you see Doctor Strange?
I did.
So I'll tell you, I got maybe, again, this is no spoiler because I only got 20 minutes is conservative. I think I really only got 10, 15 tops. So Doctor Strange has a quick cameo in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells Thor, hey, Thor, I got to talk to you. Sit down, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea. And he, does his magic sorcery stuff. And Thor is standing there with a cup of tea in his hand. And Thor looks at him and says, you really think someone from Asgard is going to sit here and drink some tea? And then Doctor Strange changes it into this big ass 35-ounce beer. And Thor's like, all right, let's continue. Let's talk. So he's talking to Thor, and Thor's sitting there You know what I'm talking about? Those big mugs of beer, right? Like
Yeah,
the
Das
30.
Boot.
Yeah, like a Das Boot. He's sitting there, and Thor starts slamming this beer. Thor starts slamming this beer as she's chugging half the thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm an Asgardian. This is," and he's basically saying, "I'm an Asgardian. Drinking this beer is nothing to me. I'm an Asgardian. I'm a warrior." He chugs like half of it, and then by the time he puts his hand down, Doctor Strange is looking at the cup, and that cup fills right back up with beer, and Thor's looking at him like, "Oh shit. Uh-oh. Well, better start drinking this beer." And as he drinks it, it just keeps filling right back up. And Doctor Strange is trying to tell him a story. But that's where I got to. But it went straight. I will tell you this, Thor Ragnarok, after the first 15 minutes I saw, was good so far. The story may end up being completely crap. But it went the route of Guardians of the Galaxy, where it has a really cool soundtrack, a lot of old 70s and 80s songs,
I'm there.
and a lot of the Chris Pratt, what's his name? Skylord? Dark Lord?
Yeah, Skylord.
It's the Skylord comedy, like a lot of one-liners and stuff.
Nice. Those are the best, man. Bring back the 80s. Did you rent it or?
All right, we had a
never
time.
mind.
He's trying to get me locked up.
Because you know why I asked you that, right? Because you could only buy it on Amazon and Google Play.
So I'm not gonna lie, I thought about streaming it, and I was like, you know what? Let me just stream this off the old Xbox.
That's the real reason why he only got 10 minutes in.
Yeah, because all the pop-ups came up, and
Buffering.
Yep. I thought about streaming it, and I was like, man, I'm gonna stream this. But you know what? I'm not gonna stream it because I can go to the store right now and get the Blu-ray from Redbox for $2 and not have to deal with buffering and cheap ass quality and badass terrible audio quality. I can go up the street, pay $2 and be done. So no, I started to stream it. I thought about it and I was like, man, this is stupid. I don't have time for this. Especially when you bootleg stuff online, it's 20 million pop-ups, tons of lag, tons of buffering. So no, I'm gonna
Boys
Redbox.
IRWP don't condone that, so we ain't telling you to go and do that. So
No,
y'all do that at your own risk.
It's just not worth it, man. And plus, I want to say Pirate Bay and all those torrent sites are down, and your ISP catches on to the torrents. And all that. It's just totally not worth it. But we're kind of ranting here for the IRWP show. Do we have some? Do we have some shout outs to get into this week?
Got shout outs, son. We got some shout outs. We got to get it going. Let me hit that theme music so we can get this into gear and get us out.
You don't have to go with the gimmick.
No Rastafari, man. Okay, man. Okay. First off, thank you so much, Robert Hood, Stephen Thatch, for joining us live in the chat. If you want to join us live in the chat, you guys just hit us up. Go to irwp.us, click on the YouTube button, and it'll take you directly to our channel. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button with the bell. That way you know when we go live, because sometimes we do this on a Wednesday, but most times we do it on a Thursday. But the only way you're going to know is you hit that button. With that being said, I want to go ahead and say welcome to our new followers. Brit Rest Review at Brit Rest Review on Twitter. We have Kellerman of Wrestling, Having the Talk, and Dr. Delicious. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We also have Kessler Comics and Donnie Francis. Thank you so much for showing us some love. We got Andrew. We got Taib Sarija. We got Alan. Thank you so much for showing us love. Got some love for the ladies. Harrison. Probably slaughtered her name, but my bad. We got classy_joy. We have Scott Steiner's Math Lessons, always showing us love on Twitter. We also have Smart Marks to Death, Sean Reedy, and we've got Pro Wrestling Blab and John Rulian and E Green. Thank you so much for showing us love and following us. Welcome to the movement, guys. We've got Undisputed Future Podcast, David D. We've got Underage, and yeah, I'm not gonna say that. We got Daniel. We got Andrew Belize. We got Pat White. 5 Meat Comics. Y'all go check them out. Great people there, man. 5 Meat Comics at 5, the number 5, meats, plural. Y'all go check them out. Sub Hajiz. Where's my theme music, man? That's all. Gotta get that on loop or something, man.
Yeah,
got
we do.
Paul Daly. Welcome, Paul Daly. And that's it. That's it for the shout outs, man. It's a little light this week, but no,
that was
don't
good.
hurt nobody.
Yeah, no, we had some good interaction this week. Hey, everybody, greatest Royal Rumble ever is coming up this weekend. Everybody get a chance. Log into the app, go watch it. Log into the WWE Network, go check it out. I'm your boy, Ben Goosen, IRWP.us, at Ben_Goosen on Twitter. Where can they find? You know what? The best way to get in touch with us is on Twitter. If you go type in It's Real Wrestling Podcast, you'll find us, or hashtag IRWP. Sage, go ahead and give them your Twitter feed and our official Twitter feed.
That's right. You can hit us up at Real WrestleCast on Twitter. It's Real Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. Hey, guess what? We have a Patreon, and we are giving away some great merchandise. Y'all go check it out. Become a Patreon. Help support your boys at patreon.com/IRWP. Slaughtered that one. But if you can't remember all that, just visit our website, IRWP.us. All our credentials are on there. Goose, take us out.
Yo, keep it real, gangsters. Just remember, at the end of the day, love everyone. Everyone's a wrestling fan deep down inside. At least somebody's watched it at some point, so just give them some props for that. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Thank you for listening to this show today. Again, hit us up at Real WrestleCast. That's the easiest way to hit us up on Twitter. 419-777-IRWP. Again, that's 419-777-IRWP. If we don't answer, your voicemail will actually be played live and on air. And then hit us up again on Twitter for this giveaway for a legit WWE seat we're going to be giving away here soon. Again, remember, 419-777-IRWP. Go follow us on Patreon, on Twitter, on social media. And at the end of the day, keep it real.
Keep it real.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Ben Goose, and the thoughts and opinions are of the host and not of the IRWP as a whole. Hey, again, go ahead, IRWP.us. Also, check us out at 419-777-IRWP. Again, that's 415. I think I botched that. Bad. Is it 415, 419? Go ahead and hit us up at 415-777-IRWP. Give us a call. Your voicemail will be played on air. And at the end of the day, remember, keep it real.